And hello, Virgo, how are you? Welcome to your February reading. What's up for you in the month of February? I hope you're all hitched and making plans to take someone out on a date or go on a date and choosing what to wear. But let's see what state we actually find you in February, what this month is about. Well, it's Five of Wands. You are, communicating with someone about an offer that you want to make, but you're not really fully invested in this situation yet, and you have temptation playing in your mind intensely. So, this is interesting, Virgo. You have a sort of I'm in a relationship, but I'm not yet completely ready to make my full commitment in this relationship. And what is really happening is a lot of chemistry that's keeping you locked and entangled in this relationship, which is good. It may be that you have just started this relationship. It may be that an existing relationship is going through a kind of revival after a period of separation, or it could be that you have had a lot of work and right now your friendships and relationships and really nurturing them. So, the card that's coming up for you is soulmates. I am in love. So, you have the energy of soulmates has come through for you. You have realized that you're with a soulmate now. Even if in the past it has been challenging for you sometimes, right now is an energy of recognizing that you were made for each other. So somewhere your realization has come full circle, Leo, that you are actually, sorry, did I say Leo? I meant Virgo. That you are actually in a soulmate relationship, Virgo. Now, Virgo, you're methodical. What is he doing when you think about what your ruler is doing? He's got his five wands, he set it aside, and you've got your the Knight of Cups. He's ready to make this offer to someone, but he's not. I did earlier that he's not serious enough to make a commitment, but then you also have I am in love, and love, when you're in love, that's a very interesting stage of, and when you're a soulmate, it's a high degree of commitment. So this conflict, let's clarify why the Knight of Cups is not big on commitment, but then you're also with your soulmate. You recognize maybe you're feeling like I shouldn't get into a codependent situation here. I shouldn't ruin it with talk of marriage. I shouldn't ruin it with talk of what assets do we divide up. I shouldn't ruin it talk of responsibilities, in other words, and I should just enjoy this moment for what it is. It's you're in love, and you just don't want to talk about what is actually burdening you or what the serious side of relationships should be about, whether you're getting into a joint finances arrangement, you're going to share custody of children, whether you have children together, which school to, it's like there's a whole world of what togetherness actually means, right? But from the outside it looks rosy. So right now I feel into a relationship, or you are in a relationship which is experiencing a renewal. And I've got the purification card for you coming out from the Krishna deck, which is talking about how you've detoxed and you really, it's interesting, you've got the devil energy. You have detoxed in order to get into this relationship, but then this relationship is also about pulling you back into indulgence. And then you've got the purification card, which is Virgo. Virgo likes purity. Virgo stands for that kind of unalloyed expression of love as well. So when expect that kind of devotion, that kind of unalloyed appreciation and love and giving and sharing, which doesn't have at its heart anything other than just this kind of the purity, the purification, the purity of almost a spiritual purity. This is also talking about spiritual purity that you share between two people, which is really about being devoted to each other, caring for each other, recognizing that that person is no one else but you. And so there's a little playful side to this relationship. Things look balanced at the moment in terms of communication. You're making that offer of, you're happy to make that offer and to stay and to honor your offer of love. And the soulmates card has come up, and you are looking at alternating between indulging in temptation and purifying yourself, which is a very Virgo thing. That's your default. So February is looking pretty, set for you, Virgo. It looks like you're in for a good time. It looks like you're going back and forth between your ego and then your shadow side. Like there's purity and then there's temptation. This is the part that's actually got me. Like this part, do what's going on here. Like I feel like this is your inner life. This is your inner life, where you're you could be writing a book about, temptation and purification. Like these are those extremes, right? And then you've got here the soulmates. It's almost like, maybe if I were to pick a problem here, Virgo, it would be that you're actually there's a divide here. I see a divide between your inner self and the self that you're showing someone that you're in a relationship with. I feel like when I first saw this card, the five, I thought, like as if it's very succinct. What you're saying is very planned and succinct to this person. It doesn't feel like, you're really sharing what's on your mind, because what's on your mind is a little bit difficult to express at the moment to your partner. I think you've discovered that you're making an offer of love. The partner's accepting it. You've gotten into a kind of a soulmate relationship. You are in love. You are experiencing romance. But what's actually happening in your inner life is a little tumultuous. Like your part of your soul is asking you to wake up to your own purification, not get into self-indulgence too much. But this is a very important part of the stage of the relationship that you are in with this person. It's like the sexuality, the physicality, the indulgence, the kind of, maybe you're spending a lot of money with this person. It could be temptation in any form, the kind that asks you to set your thinking hat aside and just indulge, just give in to impulse, right? Now that kind of thing is important in the beginning of a relationship. I can see why, because it shows that you are almost like, it brings out your Sagittarian adventurous qualities, right? And someone who can splurge, someone who can just go with the flow, someone who can just be adventurous and not question it and not think about being calculative, etc. But then your analytical Virgo nature, it almost feels like you have an intrinsic problem with this. Like you have an intrinsic problem with this, but this is just the mainstream way of doing a relationship. This is just the way, this is the design, right? And so Virgo is like, if I am ever going to have a successful relationship, this is the deal. I have to make a deal with the devil, or else I'm not going to have a chance to be with my soulmate. And that is why I think you don't even understand what commitment is, because at this stage commitment is looking like, am I going to punish myself too much? Because default Virgo is here, pure, unalloyed, just like, I'm so happy being pure. But then you're not able to communicate what the conflict is for you internally with your soulmate. And I think if we were to articulate it, it would be something like, I need more me time. I think this is heading towards more me time for you, Virgo. It feels like you need to touch base with the part of you that is Virgo, that the part of you that's pure, that the part of you that doesn't need to be indulgent in order that you secure this soulmate. I think there is some kind of communication that needs to happen that says, independent of this, if I was just this person who was pure and myself and willing to give of myself fully and my devotion fully, and I'm pure, will you accept me? Will you still see my value without this, without the devil, without the temptation? It's a conversation to have, Virgo, because I think you being you, you won't be able to sustain this kind of energy for very long, and it might be that you burn out, and it might be that that's why this commitment card is coming up as the Knight of Cups, when in the but it's also showing a Knight of Cups which is not the King of Cups. I mean, if you were with your soulmate, why isn't the King of Cups showing up in the reading? That's because you are conflicted about, whether this person's going to stick around if you just dropped indulging this person's whim fancies. Like, maybe there is an excess in this relationship that needs to be checked, because your Virgo nature is not going to be able to support it for very long if it goes unchecked. And that's what's really coming up here for your reading, Virgo. Well, let me know if something like this is going on for you, and we can talk about it more in a personal reading. In the meantime, Virgo, take and stop overindulging, guys. Cut back on the chocolate, only because your own Virgo nature is so happy just to breathe that fresh air. Virgo is about that pure simplicity. Like, you can give a Virgo a blank canvas and they will see the masterpiece that it is. That's all I have to say. So talk to your soulmate, talk to them. They probably will understand that. Okay, see you then.